What's up, y'all? Happy Saturday. Let's get into Jocelyn, Rafie, and Rico. So Jocelyn and Rafie stops by the store. Rafie goes in the back to use the bathroom, and Rico asks Jocelyn if she can get Rafie to go out of town for a few days. He told her them two need to go on a vacation or something, somewhere out of town. He told her that Ty said that Rafie's in the way and that he's targeting him. Diva said, I'm not running from him. I'm not running from anyone. She told Rico that Ty popping up all of a sudden, trying to regulate things, was definitely not going to make her start running. Rico talking about she needed to take Rafie out of town just for a few days until he could smooth things out with Ty. She told Rico that she done already made it clear to Ty to leave Rafie alone. And if he thinks that he's going to lay a hand on Rafie, she going to take him out. Well, Rico said that if Ty takes out Rafie and Diva takes out Ty, then he's going to have to handle her. And he told her don't put him in the position to do that. How about you not have your brother put you in that position? Because out of everybody in this storyline right now, your brother's the one that's tripping. Gonna come back from the dead all of a sudden and think that he's gonna get his old life back, acting like life does not move on without him. You got another thing coming to you, Ty. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of upset that Diva allowed Rico to talk to her like that. Because personally, I would have responded like Della Reese. Well, we all gonna be some fighting in Memphis in here this evening. Because what? But she told him she'll try to get Rafie out of town. Last night didn't work. So today she caught herself trying to schedule reservations for a hotel outside of town. But personally, I feel like Rafie is onto her because she's acting suspicious all of a sudden. And she needs to tell him because this is one of the main things that they promised on. They both promised that they would not hold anything in secrecy. And on several occasions, she promised to Rafie that if she gets in any kind of trouble or anything goes on with her, that she would tell him. Rafie even made her promise that she would allow him to protect her way back when. So why are you doing this, girl? You need just as much protection as you think Rafie needs. And you might want to call Hustle and let Hustle know what's going on. In addition to Rafie. But anyway, girl, now you know. You take one brother out, you're going to have to go ahead and take the other brother out. And Rico, you should have took him out a long time ago. We just being honest. Talking about he all you got. Where he been at this whole time then? Did you forget what he did to you? I understand forgiveness, but come on now. Diva's had your back more than he has. But whatever. Now let's get to Malachi Sr. waking up this morning with Natasha on the brain. Natasha is haunting him in his dreams. All he could think about is the beating she gave him. He over there screaming, no, Natasha, stop, stop. I'm Stacks. I'm Stacks. My name is Stacks. How you gonna do that? No, Natasha, no. She know what your name is, Malachi. That's why she kept beating. So you had a nightmare of Natasha last night. You're gonna have a nightmare about Rolanda next. Then the following night, you're gonna have a nightmare of both of them getting on you. They gave you the beating of the century. You probably ain't been beat like that since your mama got a hold to you. Or probably ain't got a beating like that at all. Because Natasha and Rolanda gave you a serious beating. So where the hell you been at all night type beating? Why you coming in this house at 3 a.m. type beating? Didn't I tell you not to go to that party type beating? I'm sorry, Mom, I crashed the car type beating. But anyway, Dawn heard him. She heard him in there fighting and tussling, having his nightmare. She heard him call Natasha's name. She gets some warm water for him for when he wake up, but she leans over on the bed and spills it on him. He jumps up hollering, questioning whether or not she was trying to burn his nuts. So your whole family is cursed. I can't do this. I can't do this, Dawn. Why would I be calling Natasha's name? I don't even like that devil. Why would I be calling the devil's name? Dawn, this ain't gonna work out. This ain't gonna work out. Dawn was like, I'm sorry. I can pray for you. Well, while Malachi Sr. over there getting them balls burned and haunted by Natasha, Natasha gets a visit from Charles. He wants her to look at his residency contract for North Carolina. She told him to give her today, come back tomorrow. Well, before he left, he asked her, does she still think about them? Because he didn't miss his water until the well ran dry. He didn't miss this good thing until it was gone. He low-key trying to make hints on spinning the block. And Natasha, you better not. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be the end of the day. And he messed with your sister. And Dawn paraded it in your face. You can forgive people without letting them back in. Maybe Amber needed that advice. And since we're talking about Amber, she chilling with Shayla at the restaurant. When it came down to pay for the check, Amber got separate checks. She told Shayla she got to pay for her own food. Shayla was like, what? I ain't never had to pay for my own food at Bar 44. Amber, you mean to tell me that I got to pay my own bill? Child, Amber said, I know you used to Anthony doing everything. And all your bills, the apartment, all of that. But I am not Anthony. Shayla said she hate to see this side of Amber. Y'all think you forgot which Dalton you were sitting with. Well, Shayla asked Amber, were they having financial troubles? Because she don't understand how she went from having a popping bar to this restaurant. Bar 44 was popping. Now all of a sudden you don't have that anymore. And you're here at this restaurant with barely any customers. So Amber told Shayla that Anthony made her give up the bar. Well, Shayla says she don't mind paying. She guess she can support. Girl, you probably spending any mom's money anyway. Or Anthony's money. Amber did ask you, did that check clear? And that was the only thing you needed to worry about. But anyway, let's talk about this boot camp. Larry got up early this morning. Brooke was already ready. She did not like the sound of that whistle. And he blew it anyway. He made her remake her bed while Destiny was was in it, made her clean Destiny's side of the bed, and she got to work. Isaiah was late, so she started the punishment without him. When Isaiah finally did get there, he made Isaiah watch as he continued to punish Brooke. Had her squatting upside the garage, doing push-ups. I don't know why people was getting in their feelings about that skit. Brooke actually got it easy for being able to lean up against that wall. Because imagine squatting like that with a rifle in your hand and no back support. And you're doing that for a long time. And if anyone around you falls, the time starts over. If you lose balance, time starts over. If you drop your rifle, the time starts over. Imagine doing that for a half hour because somebody had a crease on their bed. But anyway, he leaves for a little bit. He told Brooke and them not to move. She got up the moment he left. Her and Isaiah going back and forth, they start arguing with each other. He comes outside, them two still arguing. Well, here comes Larry. He comes outside, they argue. He gets at them. Brooke complaining about her knee hurting because he made them do push-ups. She could barely hold on. Then he tied their legs together, just one of them, and made them run. As a team, I ain't gonna lie, they actually really made it harder for themselves by not locking arms, holding on to each other, being in unison. But Larry told Isaiah that if you're gonna be the man, get this together, figure it out. So Isaiah trying, Brooke crying. Speaking of her leg, didn't Bethany hit her leg with the door or something like that? I wonder why come she ain't told her daddy about that. Or did she and I just skipped it? I actually don't think she told him because he definitely would have cussed Bethany out. But anyway, let's talk about Lisa. Last night, Darren told Lisa that one thing that he loves about her is the fact that she's passive and submissive. She don't like that. She don't like being called passive. She told him that it feels like he doesn't even know her. Well, that left a bad taste in her mouth. This morning for Pilates class, she was in a bad mood and Mike caught on to it. He talked to her, gave her some words of encouragement, comforts her a little bit. Well, after class, she asked Mike if he think that she's passive. He told her no. He said everything she wanted to hear. Forget all of that. Mike made a comment about her making him strong, and she joked about him picking her up. Mike said, oh, I could if I had to. Child, she's trying to give you a reason to. Michael Bliss, I hope you caught on to that. But you can't even catch on to Dawn being a demon, so we know you didn't get that. Now let's talk about Rosey coming home to flowers at her door with a card that said, I came back for you. She hid the card and lied to DC and said the flowers did not come with one. They got into an argument. He said he did not send them. He made her throw them away. Well, DC finally came home with some money, but told her that he could not use any of that money to pay the bill. She goes off. Her son overhears it. He said that he has to give that money to Erica for Jada's tuition. She goes off. They end the discussion, but he thought it was smart to put the stack of money on the nightstand. Well, when they left and went downstairs, Rosie's son took a chunk of it, and I guess he planned on paying the bills with it, giving it to his mama. Oh, here we go. Now let's talk about them skits. Pierre trying to set the mood with Deja, aka the counselor, skip. Lucretia's car not starting, skip. Anthony and Ben, skip. Ben asked Anthony if he was jealous of him and Drea. Anthony said no. He can just see what it is that she's trying to do. Well, Ben didn't like that. Anthony did come back and apologize to Ben and told him that he really likes Danielle, and both of them two got second chances to get back with the love of their lives, their wives, and he don't want to see nobody get in between that. Anthony told Ben, I know I'm the last person that you should be getting advice from, but I'm just saying. Well, Ben looked at Anthony and was like, you're right, you are the last person I should be taking advice from, and walks away. Anthony, you might want to leave this one alone. Let Ben sink on his own, and you might want to get your money back. Go ahead and do that now. Untie him from some assets or figure out something before you rub him the wrong way again and your money be gone. Isaiah finding out that Hope and Faith's power got shut off, skip. Shauna calling Anthony at night to come to the restaurant so she can give him some marital advice, skip. Didn't Amber tell you stop calling her husband to mind your business? But she suggested that he spend some quality time with her. Nadia telling Jada she feel like he takes up for Ernestine more than her, skip. You stay with that woman's name in your mouth. Libby, Terry, and Sydney, skip. But Libby did change the locks on Terry. She found out that he was trying to get into her bank account. And she sat outside and looked at Terry from the blinds. Left him some food outside for him to eat. She told him to figure it out the same way he was trying to figure out the security questions to her bank account. Asia and Marco trying to set up Dalen and take some of his money, skip. They're going to rig the paternity test. They're going to buy the same one that Dalen did, but Marco was going to take it. I guess they're going to swipe out the samples, and instead of using Dalen's sample, they're going to use Marco's to prove that Dalen is the daddy. And Adriana forcing Naya to pee in the cup and do the drug test instead of her, skip. Of course, Naya passed, but she doesn't feel comfortable lying to her aunt, doing this drug test for her mother again. Wow. Skip.